Amhara is the second most populated region of Ethiopia, home to more than 30 million people. Amhara's representatives have generally been strong supporters of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government, and they played a key role in the war with the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF forces, also known as the Tigray Defense Forces, from late 2020 through 2022. During that time, the Fano and other Amhara ethnic militias fought alongside the ENDF against the TPLF and took control of contested areas, including parts of western Tigray zone. During and after the northern conflict, tensions grew between Amhara and federal forces around two central issues. First, political deadlocks on the status of Welkate, Humera, Tselemt, and Raya areas, which are officially located within Tigray region, but contain many ethnic Amhara communities that seek to be incorporated into Amhara region. While the government indicated its interest in holding a referendum on the issue, opponents of the referendum argue that the TPLF-led government put these areas under Tigray region without consultation with the local population in the 1990s, and that the current administration should therefore make a direct political decision for these areas to be administered by Amhara region. The second issue is the overall state of security for Amhara communities in Ethiopia. Government forces did not consistently defend against the TPLF advance in the region during the northern conflict in 2021 and 2022, as the ENDF withdrew from towns and cities in Amhara and Afar. Amhara civilians faced abuses by TPLF forces during the war, and Amhara settlers also faced intermittent violence in Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz regions. The recent decision to eliminate regional special forces was regarded in Amhara as a threat to the region's ability to protect itself against aggression from other regions. The government has also been accused of engaging in peace talks with the TPLF and the Oromo Liberation Front, OLF, a rebel group in Oromia, also known as the Oromo Liberation Army, in a way that will prevent accountability for violence against Amhara communities. At the moment, government forces, mainly the ENDF, are clashing with Fano and Amhara ethnic militias. Fano militias demand that Federal Defense Force troops withdraw from the region. They also accuse the regional and federal governments of being dominated by ethnic Oromos. Political violence reached new levels of intensity in Amhara region at the start of August, since the peace agreement between the federal government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, ended the northern conflict. Following the government's announcement to integrate all regional special forces into various security forces at the beginning of April, Amhara region has become one of the most unstable regions in the country. The unrest further escalated when the federal government deployed the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, to take action against extremist forces after an unidentified armed group killed the head of the Amhara faction of the ruling Prosperity Party on the 27th of April. Fano militias managed to take control of some towns and released prisoners. There were also several violent demonstrations, wherein demonstrators closed roads in Debre Marcos, Dembeka, Bura, and Emmanuel towns to halt Ethiopian National Defense Forces movement in the region. According to one local official, the armed clashes in East and West Gojam zones erupted when the Ethiopian National Defense Force began to mobilize to East Amhara. Due to the unrest, the Amhara regional government asked the federal government to take all necessary measures as the insecurity in the region went beyond the control of the regional security forces. As a result, on the 4th of August, the Council of Ministers declared a 6-month state of emergency in Amhara region. The state of emergency proclamation consists of various civil and political rights restrictions, like restrictions on holding demonstrations and arresting people without a court order. The general attorney indicated that if necessary, the state of emergency could also be implemented in other parts of the country. Despite the declared state of emergency, armed clashes between Fano militias and the ENDF have continued in Amhara region. Despite the federal government's success in regaining control of the major Amhara cities, including the state capital Bahir Dar, shortly after the declaration of the state of emergency, the war still seems far from over. The situation in the region remains as delicate as ever, and there's a growing fear that a prolonged period of guerrilla warfare may ensue, dragging the nation yet into another civil war just a few months after the end of the devastating Tigray War.